Son Heung-min paused for a few seconds, his eyes glistening, his voice faltering as if words that could break the heart of any Tottenham fan were about to pour out. Whenever Spurs set foot in South Korea for their summer tour, Son is always the one to speak to the press as the representative. He is the captain of the national team and perhaps the most famous Asian footballer in the history of world football. The friendly match against Newcastle on Sunday at the Seoul World Cup Stadium was supposed to be a celebration. They were meant to celebrate the Europa League title that Spurs won in May, ending 17 years of trophy drought. Hundreds of fans swarmed the arrival hall at Incheon Airport when the team landed on Friday afternoon. Cheers, banners, and flashes of light from above poured down like a festival. But the atmosphere quickly changed color as this trip became a farewell. At the ICF shopping center on Saturday morning, Son officially confirmed he wanted to leave Tottenham. There were offers from the Saudi Pro League with higher fees, but the destination Son chose was Los Angeles FC, where his former teammate Hugo Lloris is the starting goalkeeper. Wearing a black shirt with Spurs printed on the chest, the 33-year-old captain stepped into the press conference room alongside Tottenham's new head coach, Thomas Frank. The two posed for a few photos before Son approached the microphone and spoke in his native tongue. He trembled. "Before I begin, I want to share that I've decided to leave the club this summer. This is the hardest decision of my career. I've spent 10 years with Tottenham, and I feel I've done everything I could here. I need a new environment, a new challenge. I'm grateful that the club has respected this decision and wish Spurs all the best in the upcoming season. I came to North London at 23, still a kid who couldn't speak English. I leave as a man. Thank you to all the Spurs fans for the love you've shown me. Tottenham has been my home, and I think this is the right time to say goodbye. I hope everyone understands and respects that." At one moment, it seemed Son might break down in tears. He covered his face, trying to regain composure, then repeated the entire statement in English. Throughout the press conference, Son alternated between staring blankly into the distance and giving wistful smiles as he spoke about his wonderful 10 years with Tottenham. He revealed that he made the decision at the start of the summer, after Thomas Frank replaced Ange Postecoglou in June. He met with key players to discuss the direction, and Son openly stated he wanted to leave. No one else in the team had a similar desire. Son kept it quiet all summer, confiding only in a few close people, including Ben Davies, his longtime teammate and the godfather of Son's son. The two might leave Spurs together, closing to journeys spanning over a decade. "Davies completely respects my decision, as does everyone in the team," Son said. "Telling them was really hard because we've lived together more than with our families. We've eaten, slept, and trained together every day for years. We understand each other deeply. Everyone is sad but also happy for me. That's how I feel. I'm not sure what they truly feel inside. They smile, but I know it's a smile tinged with regret." Toward the end of the press conference, a reporter named Suai, who has followed Son since his early days in England, asked about Son seeming sad during an open training session against Arsenal in Hong Kong, though Coach Frank insisted Son remained professional. Everyone noticed he wasn't himself. And perhaps today was when Son could finally unburden himself. "I decided to leave a long time ago," he said. "The past days and weeks haven't been easy. I always try to appear cheerful, because football is where I'm happiest, but you can't leave a club you've been with for 10 years lightly. I didn't want to affect the team's atmosphere or create noise, but emotions can't be hidden forever. Some fans know me so well, down to my habits, so they probably sensed it. I'll try to fully enjoy these last 2 days here." Son declined to specify which club he'd join, but negotiations between Tottenham and LAFC took place over the past 24 hours. The match against Newcastle on Sunday might be the last time Son wears the Spurs shirt, and fittingly, it's happening in his homeland, South Korea. Son also mentioned considering the 2026 World Cup in the US, where LAFC is based, as it could be his final tournament, given he'll turn 38 by 2030. Thomas Frank, who sat quietly throughout the press conference, was asked for his thoughts. He shared, "I really wanted to work with him. Son is an incredible person and player. I followed him from afar for years. He's truly a legend, one of the best wingers to ever play in the Premier League. If this is his last match, what better place than his homeland, in front of the people who've loved and followed him from childhood to now? It's probably the most beautiful ending possible." Son and Coach Frank took a few more photos, holding up the Tottenham shirt, then left. This summer, Tottenham has seen many changes, but perhaps it wasn't until Son broke down that people truly felt an era had ended. Some players choose to hang up their boots at their peak, while others let their aura fade over time. When they leave, the audience is left with only regret and exhaustion. Son Heung-min clearly didn't want to be the latter. His decision to leave Tottenham after the Europa League triumph isn't just about seeking a new challenge, as polite statements often claim. Everyone can see Son is 33. Last season, he carried a team without Harry Kane and still shone. The cost was clear. He faded late in the season, with signs of lingering injuries and a dip in speed that no longer supported his high-pressing style. For a player who thrives on explosiveness, Son knew he was no longer himself, and at that moment, he chose to go. Dele Alli was once Tottenham's future, admired across Europe for his explosive play, but he stayed too long, slid into decline, and was forgotten in size. Eden Hazard was different. He left at the right time, but clung to Real Madrid when his body could no longer keep up. In the end, Hazard's final years were a string of days on the bench, remembered as a flop signing rather than the player who once conquered the Premier League. Son didn't want to be remembered that way. He chose to leave while people still loved him. Kane left Tottenham, and now it's Son's turn. Both were icons of a Spurs generation, craving trophies, tirelessly dedicated but never touching the Premier League. Now at least they have a European Cup, a happy ending of sorts. But while Kane chose Bayern to keep challenging at the continental elite level, Son chose the MLS, a gentler, less pressured place where he can play freely, live peacefully, and maintain his heroic image in fans' eyes. This decision mirrors what David Beckham did with LA Galaxy or Lorenzo Insigne with Toronto. They were icons, carrying the admiration of a continent. Son isn't just Tottenham's second highest goalscorer after Harry Kane. He's also one of the greatest Asian footballers ever. But instead of forcing another year under doubt, he stepped back, and that choice likely earns him even more respect. In East Asian culture, there's a profound philosophy: knowing when enough is enough, not being greedy, not forcing things, and not letting ego drag you from the peak. Son embodies this more than anyone, so when looking back at Son's journey, there's no regret. It's a gentle nod, a timely farewell, and an example for today's young stars that leaving isn't always an end. Sometimes it's the best way to preserve the light you once had. And who knows, when the 2026 World Cup comes to the US, Son might return to the spotlight not to score goals, but as a living monument inspiring an entire Asian generation. Behind him in terms of technical class, Son Heung-min surpasses Park Ji-sung. This isn't to diminish Park's value, who started in a Champions League final and was trusted by Sir Alex in do-or-die matches. But Son is a different class, a top attacking star, consistently scoring across seasons, winning the Premier League, Golden Boot, something no Asian player dared dream of before. Yet Son's value isn't just in goals. If Park Ji-sung was a symbol of diligence, inspiring a Korean generation to believe Asian players could hold their own in Europe, Son elevated that concept. He didn't just survive, he rose to the elite, carrying the aura of a true global superstar. In South Korea, Son is no longer just a footballer. He's a moral exemplar, a national role model, a cultural pride of Asia. He's the hope that this continent's football can produce superstars to rival Europe and South America. In Europe, he's loved for his professionalism, humility, and tireless fighting spirit. Most importantly, Son's impact is a legacy, not just his image in games, on jerseys, or at Asian fan events, but the thousands of Japanese, Korean, Vietnamese, and Thai kids growing up dreaming of being Son Heung-min in the globalized world of football. It's not easy for an Asian player to become a global icon, but Son did it with true East Asian qualities, quietly, persistently, earning the world's respect. He's no longer just a beacon for Korean football. He's Asia's light in the global football sky. If we need a name to define the greatest Asian footballer in history, Son doesn't require much thought. Tottenham has never been England's strongest club. They lack a rich history of titles or dominant streaks like Manchester City or Manchester United in their golden era. But from Pochettino's time to lifting the Europa League under Thomas Frank, that period made people love Spurs the most, because Tottenham then represented those who strive. Not dominators, not wasteful spenders, they were a team of dreamers. Son, Kane, Eriksen, Ollie, Loris poured their hearts into reaching glory, but often stopped at the threshold when they finally won the Europa League in May. There was no arrogance, just tears of joy and a sigh of relief. Finally, something to remember, something to tell. People may not support Spurs, but almost everyone loves Son Heung-min. The way he scores and bows his head, the way he celebrates with teammates instead of running alone to the corner flag, and the way he leaves gently only makes people cherish him more. Son leaves, an era ends, but the memory of Spurs over the past 10 years and the light Son leaves behind will linger long in Tottenham Hotspur's history.